The GEEK Files, 2026, April 28th. Fall of 88, spring of 92, Terrace, BC, working for Transprovincial. So the hangar that Transprovincial had at Terrace was at the south end of the taxiway where the big gate was. So if you wanted to get onto the airport, this is where the big double gate is. Trying to remember how this worked. So I was coming to work and driving down there. I think I was following like some big heavy truck. And the gate swung open and he went through, and I thought, this is really odd. And then I parked in the parking lot and looked out, and here's an Ericsson sky crane parked down on the unused South Triangle. The triangle part of Terrace is a World War II airport, so it was a typical triangular layout. The southish triangle was never used. And there's a couple cranes there, and they're getting ready to pull this thing apart. So out I go, because I want to take pictures of this thing. And yep, they're breaking this thing down. And as I'm standing there, I hear this thunderous roar. Like it's a big, heavy aircraft, piston-driven aircraft. And I look up, and it's a Super Guppy. So Super Guppies, a couple of the original ones were built on Constellations. And so this thing has got four-row Pratt & Whitney engines in it. And then they put they modified the fuselage, and they used to carry rocket parts in it, that ferry rocket parts around the US. And it lands. And it taxis over to the Ericsson and flips open its tail, because the whole tail, to load this thing, it's on a tricycle gear, the whole tail pivots. And so you have access to slide things in and out, like you have a big hole. This thing's a big hole. And they continue taking this, throughout the day, they continue taking this Ericsson apart enough to get it inside the Super Guppy. The Ericsson sky cranes were used in logging, for big logs, and for moving towers around, like big towers, and for putting up facilities on top of skyscrapers, things like that. Yeah, so that was cool. And then the next morning, so they got this thing loaded. And the next morning, the Super Guppy starts its engines and taxis down to the actual runway. And it is a smoke show. This thing is burning oil like it's going out of school. Like I knew from working on the DC-4s and the Caribou, they burn oil. Like the R2000s burn a lot of oil. So I can't remember what these things are, four somethings. And they had one engine that it looked like the airplane was on fire. But once they spooled it up, I guess they had temps. You wouldn't take off without oil temps. But once they got it spooled up, it cleared up and off it went. And what a sound. So I can imagine when Super Constellations were flying around, as passenger aircraft, these things flying overhead must have made just immense rackets. Yeah, that was a good day. That was a really good day. Yeah, so I guess that was the most efficient way to get the sky crane from wherever it was around Terrace to wherever they needed it to be and wherever it was going. Because sky cranes just don't fly that fast. And they use a lot of fuel. They're real pigs on fuel. Yeah, what else about, oh, the Sky Crane. So they've got, I did, when I was in Whitehorse, um, I met a guy who used to be a helicopter logger. He was on one of the Bull Cook helicopters. So what they do is the Sky Crane just picks up the logs and brings them to the landing and then goes back. And there's uh, two sets of guys setting chokers, but they don't bring back the chokers. So what they do is they use smaller helicopters like 206 and 500s to ferry the chokers from the landing back and forth, or from the landing back out to where these guys are, because it's just inefficient to use the Sky Crane. And so there's two pilots in the Sky Crane, one guy up front that does the ferry work. That's usually the co-pilot. And then the captain sits in this, so that the Sky Crane's got a great big hole in the center of this thing. It's a pretty cool thing. And there is a complete new set of controls sitting facing where you're going to work. So you can sit there and look at what you are doing. And that's what the captain does. So the co-pilot ferries the aircraft to where they're going. The captain then takes control, goes down, picks up the load, lifts the load up, and then the co-pilot takes the load to the landing, drops it, turns around, goes back. So each pilot is only in control of a specific part, and you can get pretty dizzy doing this, because it takes a while for you to realize, when all of a sudden, the captain drops down to pick up the load and picks it, because these guys are getting paid by how much they move, and then picks it back up and says, you've got it. Like you're in this elevator going down, the elevator coming up, and then the captain is in this looking backwards, doing this weird dance, going forward and backward. Yeah. So making appropriate life decisions. You don't make any money, but boy, you get good stories.